Hi guys, I am Vanessa Mendoza, your student nurse for today. So we're going to tackle about on how student nurses approach the dilemma on abortion. Abortion is the expulsion of a fetus from the uterus before it has reached the stage of viability, or simply it is the termination of a pregnancy. A focus on ethics education to include human rights is suggested to enable students to explore their own social value judgments, to limit the possible development of ethical confusion and moral distress. Nurses have opinions about abortion, but because they are health professionals and their opinions are important, they are obligated to understand why they hold certain views. In cases of abortion, as in all cases of nursing care, the nurse has the ethical obligation to provide the best nursing care possible without judging the rightness and the wrongness of the act or behavior of the patients. Nurses need to be clear about why they believe as they do, and they must arrive at a point of view in a rational and logical manner. Initially, there is the ethical dilemma of an individual nurse's personal religious value system and obligation to self to live according to it. This is an opposition to the ethical obligation to care for all the patients. The nursing administration also faces an ethical dilemma related to enforcing this policy in the fairest way possible. Since the beginning of recorded history, women have chosen to have abortions. Early Jews and Christians forbade abortion on practical and religious grounds. A human life was viewed as valuable, and there was also the practical consideration of the addition of another person to the population. More brute strength to do necessary physical work, defend against enemies, and ensure the continuation of the people. The discussion of the ethics of abortion must rest on one or more of several foundations. Whether the fetus is a human being, the rights of the pregnant woman as opposed to those of the fetus, and circumstances of horror and hardship that might surround a pregnancy. Viability is relative. Because viability is a specific descriptive entity, value judgments become part of determination. Both viability and the actions that might be taken based on that determination. The fetus that become a full human being at viability. That occurs only at conception of birth, depending on one's view of ensoulment. After a certain point, it deserves legal and moral protection. A woman would have the right to be relieved of carrying the fetus, but she wouldn't have the right of the death of the fetus. A significant moral difference exists in these two concepts, and it is this issue that forms the basis of the debate concerning the conflict between maternal and fetal rights. When the rights of the fetus and those of the pregnant woman came into the direct conflict, the rights of the fetus are always subordinated to those of the woman. The third ethical foundation of the abortion debate, that the circumstances of horror and hardship surrounding the pregnancy is really a combination of the first two. It was agreed that the nurses would not be made to rotate into the abortion clinic against their religious beliefs, and that the nurses who did not have the right to ethical stance would work there. So that's all. I hope you have learned something from me about the dilemma of abortion. Thank you for watching!